Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So again, I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. As I've obviously done a video earlier on today, and this is my second video of the day. Now, so I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on James Maddison from Leicester, because he's one of our priority targets, I think, for the summer. And I've been talking with you about James Maddison on a regular basis, haven't I? And also, going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Paul Pogba. I've also, been keeping you up to date regularly, what's been going on with Paul Pogba. And there's lots of other things to talk about. So the first topic I am going to start with is James Maddison. So obviously, Manchester United are seeing James Maddison as an alternative to Jack Grealish. So obviously, if Manchester United are to miss out on Jack Grealish when the transfer window reopens, we'll look to sign James Maddison. But I do believe Jack Grealish looks a lot more imminent than James Maddison, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Now, if we were to have any chances of getting James Maddison, I think we'd have to pay maybe 70 or 80 million pounds, to try and convince Leicester to offload him. But I think Leicester will do everything they can to try and convince James Maddison to remain loyal to them. Because Leicester, have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years, like I mentioned before. They lost Harry Maguire to us last summer. We paid £80 million for him. Like I said, I think Harry Maguire's, been a very, very good signing for us. I think he's addressed our defensive deficiencies, and I think the club did make the right decision by giving Harry Maguire the captaincy on a permanent basis. We're giving the captaincy reflecting on Ashley Young's departure from the football club this year. So Leicester, did lose him. They also lost Raheem Mahrez to Manchester City back in the summer of 2018, and they also lost N'Golo Kante and Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea. So reflecting on that, Leicester, wouldn't want to lose James Maddison. Now, obviously, a bit of speculation had been fueled up, was it earlier on this week or last week, like I updated you, because James Maddison revealed the best players he's ever played with, and that's Rashford and Harry Maguire, that are two Manchester United players, and he also did say Jadon Sancho. So that did, fuel a bit of speculation up. Now, of course, Brendan Rodgers has given his overarching view on this speculation regarding James Maddison, and this was, I think it was a couple of weeks ago he gave his overarching view on it, and, he insists that James Maddison is happy with Leicester. Obviously, it's been confirmed that contract negotiations have been going on for quite some time now, because Leicester are looking, to get James Maddison a new contract. As it stands at the moment, James Maddison has got 3 years remaining on his current contract. But if he signs a new contract, then obviously, he'll get an increase in his wages. Now, James Maddison is into his second season with Leicester. He's into his second season with them. I think he's made around 70 appearances in all competitions. 64 of those appearances have come in the Premier League. And I think this season, James Maddison, is replicating what he did in his first season, because he was very, very good in his first season. Don't forget, last season he created more chances than any other player in the Premier League did, Maddison. Leicester, did pay £20 million to him from Norwich in the summer of 2018. So he has emulated himself up, because I thought he enjoyed a good couple of years in the Championship with Norwich. He also had a loan spell in Scotland with Aberdeen, and he actually, began his career with Coventry. Now, James Maddison is predominantly an attacking midfielder, and he is only at the age of 23, so he would fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly. But reiterate what I said, way to get him on the board, we're going to have to make him one of our most expensive signings, because our most expensive signing at the moment is Paul Pogba, who we paid £89 million for. Our second most expensive signing is Harry Maguire, who we paid £80 million for. I think Bruno Fernandes is one of our most expensive signings. Yeah, he is, because we paid £68 million for him, with add-ons included. Also, two Freds on that list, because we paid £50 million for him. And Wan-Bissaka's also on that list, because I think we paid £45 million for him. Di Maria's on that list. I know he's not here now, but under Louis van Gaal here, I think we paid £60 million for him. So we are known for overpaying for players in recent years. But, we need someone to partner up with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. But yeah, I do really, really like James Maddison a lot. I really, really do. But there's no main explanation why I'd want to leave Leicester at this moment in time, because, like I mentioned, Leicester have enjoyed a very, very good season. I think the second or third. Brendan Rodgers, of course, has been there now over the year. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers extended his contract with Leicester, I think until 2025. Leicester did recruit around five or six players in last summer. They got, I think, Dennis Pryor, Yuri Tillemans. I think he's one of their most expensive signings. So they got Dennis Pryor, Yuri Tillemans. They also got James Justin in. So Leicester, did recruit quite a few players in. But like I mentioned, we're seeing him as an alternative to Jack Grealish. But like I mentioned on my recent video, who would you rather have in, James Maddison or Jack Grealish? Now, I'll delve into a bit of news on Jack Grealish. Now, recent reports have emerged that Everton have entered the race for Jack Grealish. Now, of course, Everton are looking to make investment under Carlo Ancelotti. Now, Everton have got quite a few decent midfielders. They've got Gylfi Sigurdsson. They've also got Andrea Gomez. He's another one. Don't forget, he was injured for quite some time. They've also got Alex Iwobi. So Everton have got quite a few players on their agenda. Now, I do believe Jack Grealish is definitely, going to leave Aston Villa. Especially, if Aston Villa are to be relegated. But on the other hand, even if, Villa are to survive relegation this season, I don't think that's going to be enough to convince Jack Grealish to remain loyal to them. And Grealish has remained loyal to Aston Villa for several years. He's spent the vast majority of his career with Aston Villa, but I think he did have a loan spell with Notts County. But Grealish has been a Villa player since the age of 6, hasn't he? He's been in their senior squad since 2014. And he's become an integral part of their team, and I think he's flourished under Dean Smith's guidance. Jack Grealish, was key to Villa getting to the Carabao Cup final this season. He was also key, to them getting promotion to the Premier League. But, Villa, do want to keep him. If Villa are to avoid relegation, Grealish would cost around 60, maybe £70 million. So he probably costs the exact or similar amount to how much, that James Maddison would cost. Grealish, has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023, so still got around 3 years remaining on his contract. Don't forget, revert back to the summer of 2018. Tottenham, wanted to get him. I do believe Tottenham had put a bid in of around £25 million, was it? But obviously, the move didn't materialise. Jack Grealish is the age of 24, so he's older than James Maddison. He's predominantly an attacking mid, but you can occasionally play him as a winner. Was it earlier on this week that Andy Gray had come out and said, Man United should sign Grealish and sell Grealish and sell Paul Pogba. Obviously, Charles Nicholson does believe that Grealish's valuation will persistently grow, but I do believe he'll follow the footsteps of James Milner and Gareth Barry and that. But there's been a few clubs that have expressed their interest in Grealish, but he is one of our number one priority targets for the summer. I can almost assure that Man United won't get Grealish and Maddison in the summer. I think we'll get either one. We won't get both players. If we were to get both players, then they'd probably cost us around 150 or 160 million pounds and that. But we're in the market basically for an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. Now we'll delve into news on Paul Pogba. So I've just been reading a report, and it actually does say now that Paul Pogba's first choice is to make a return back to Juventus. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of narratives in the mainstream media anyway, saying that Paul Pogba could make a return back to Juventus, because don't forget Paul Pogba enjoyed 4 good years with Juventus before he came back to Manchester United. Don't forget, like I said, we paid 89 million for Paul Pogba. But analysing the vast majority of his performances at Man United, they've been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. So let's just put that into the equation. Now, like I said to you before, it's very, very rare that, players go back to their former clubs. We have seen it happen over the years and in recent years. We saw it happen with Wayne Rooney. Rooney endured 13 years at Man United. We got him from Everton under Alex Ferguson. is our all-time leading goal scorer with 253 goals in all competitions. But Rooney did go back to Everton. Now, obviously, he is player manager of Derby. I think Henry did it, he went back to Arsenal. I think it didn't happen with Alvaro Morata. He went back to Atletico Madrid from Chelsea because he began his career with Atletico Madrid, did Morata. I think we also saw it happen with David Luiz, and probably it's happened a few other times, but it is very, very rare. But Pogba is open, to making a return back to Juventus. Now, like I mentioned to swap deals have been on the agenda. Like I said to earlier on this week, like I updated you, there was talks of James Rodriguez coming to Man United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going to Real Madrid. But the narratives that have just come out today is totally comparison to the ones that came out recently, because it said before that Pogba's priority is to join Real Madrid when the transfer window does reopen. But that's what it said. There was also talks the other week of Aaron Ramsey coming to Man United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. There was talks of Maddison coming to Man United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. So reiterate what I said, swap deals have been on the agenda. And again, swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game, but swap deals do happen sometimes. Now, obviously, Fabrizio Romano, who tends to be a very reliable Italian journalist, don't forget he came out recently and said that Pogba has got no intentions of buying out the remainder of his contract for around £50 million, because the Sun did report out that he was, taking into consideration of, getting a fee for transfer regulation to buy out the remainder of his contract. But I don't see that now happening. I think Paul Pogba's valuation has dropped. Is it to around £70 million now? So we could only get £70 million for him. But, I think we've quoted out that we want at least £100 million for Paul Pogba. Now, that figure's totally comparison to last summer, because we revealed last summer that we wanted around 180 million for Paul Pogba. Now, that's obviously just over double than what we paid for him from Juventus back in 2016. The main explanation why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer is reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him. Real Madrid were not willing to meet the £180 million that we was demanding, but Pogba still wants to leave now as we speak, so he's got the same perception than what he had last summer as well. Real Madrid, obviously, of course, are looking to offload players so they can generate more money. They're looking to offload James Rodriguez. They're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos on a permanent transfer because he's on loan at Arsenal at the moment. I think they're looking for around 40 million for Dani Ceballos. Also, too, they're looking to offload Gareth Bale because Bale's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. But Real Madrid, did recruit a good 5 or 6 players in last summer and spent was it around 200 or 300 odd million pounds. But I think, he could still go to Madrid, could Paul Pogba, because obviously, Pogba's got a good relationship with Zinedine Zidane, and Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid last year, about his dream of playing under Zinedine Zidane and stuff like that. And obviously, don't forget his agent Mini Raiola has also got a good relation with Real Madrid. And Mini Raiola's been talking a lot since the turn of the year, and Mini Raiola's been working on getting his client a transfer away from Man United completed, at least for the last couple of years now. But we just basically need to resolve Pogba's future, and Ed Woodward, of course, has had a few negotiations with Mini Raiola. Now, I think, we have entered contract negotiations. Because obviously, Paul Pogba's got 2 years. Is it left on his current contract with the club? 1 year, with an option of a further year. Do you think Man United, will trigger that 1 year extension? Maybe, to stop his valuation from dropping even more. But still a possibility chance that Paul Pogba could stay at Manchester United for another season. There's a possibility chance because before all the football was suspended, Paul Pogba was coming out saying that he was interested in staying at Man United and he was interested in extending his contract with the club. The main explanation, because he believes he can form a good partnership with Bruno Fernandes. Then I think in Austria, for the last game, Solsjaker, this was prior to the game, Solsjaker, did say that Paul Pogba will remain at Manchester United next season. But since he rejoined the club from Juventus back in 2016, he has had a long-running transfer saga. And he also enjoyed a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. Pogba only played 8 times this season. His appearances have been limited at the football club. But I think he'll play again for Man United, when the season does eventually resume. And he's the age of 27. So he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. But United fans have got different perceptions on him. But now reportedly his first choice is to go to Juventus and that. Don't forget we had Pogba when he was younger under Ferguson, but obviously Man United had to let him go, due to limited appearances. So we are in the market for an adequate replacement for him. There was talks of Solsjaker possibly, being his replacement the other week. I'm very, very sceptical that Man United will sign Solsjaker. There's been recent talks about Serge Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. I've reportedly they want around £87 million do Lazio for him. But yeah, so I think probably Paul Pogba is on his way out of the football club. Now, obviously, I think Manchester United need around 4 signings in the summer to become title contenders next season. And this is what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. Now, obviously, he's identified the areas Solskjaer, where he wants to strengthen up. Obviously, he wants to recommend the centre forward in. He also wants to recommend the right winger in. And I think he wants to bring a midfielder in. There's some reports saying, that he's still keen on recommending a centre half in. We have got a lot of centre halves in the team. We've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first choice centre halves, and they've complemented each other really, really well. You've got backup centre halves Eric Bailly and Tuan Zebe, and I think Bailly's done really, really well since he's come back from injury. But yeah, so it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is making plans. It was good what he came out with recently, because he insists he will exploit the transfer market, when the transfer window does eventually, reopen. So what it means in that aspect is, he's got a lot of confidence, going into the market when it reopens. He thinks, we can get the players that we do want in. Because obviously, due to this coronavirus pandemic, there is a lot of clubs. These are a lot of clubs under financial pressure, and reflecting on that, teams will have to offload some of their players to generate money. But I can assure if we can get qualification for the Champions League, then we can definitely, get the players that we do want in. Definitely in that. We can get the players that we want in. But obviously, I think Solskjaer definitely, will be Manchester United manager next season. So far, Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club, and he's spent around £220 million on 5 players, and got to credit him, for the players that he has brought in so far, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, a lot of people like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, and his transfer strategy is, recruiting young players in, like he did do last summer. And there's a lot of young players in our squad now, don't forget. I think we've got the youngest squad in the Premier League this season. But he needs more time to get more players in, to get rid of more players, because Solskjaer is planning to get rid of around 5 players or maybe 6 players in the summer. Our transfer budget is £150 million, but obviously that budget's going to increase if we can offload players. So let's just put that into the equation. Solskjaer's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers and that. But, we need to have a competitive transfer window for once. We really, really, really do. Because our recruitment policy has been very, very poor for several years, let's be honest. And we have recruited a lot of players in the last 6-7 years. I think we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. Yes, we have. And, we spent nearly £1 billion on these players. Yes, we have in that. And, Solskjaer, anyway, is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. But we've had different managers with different philosophies, and it's not always the right solution, sacking managers all the time. And, we're not known for the sacking football club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. Moyes has gone, Van Gaal's gone, and Jose Mourinho's gone. But there hasn't only been problems with the management throughout the course of this season anyway. A lot of United fans have been doubting the Glazers, doubting the club's ownership, that is, criticising Ed Woodward a lot. Obviously, players earlier on in the season weren't playing to their potential best. So there's been a lot of issues, various issues at the football club. And, we've enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. Yes, we have, but look at it on the positive. Before all the football got suspended, we was unbeaten. Well, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions, and that's our best vein of form since Solsjaker was the interim manager. Solskjaer did really, really well when he was the interim manager because, like I mentioned, he won his first 8 games at the club. He only lost one of his first 17 in all competitions, and he won 14 out of 19 in all competitions. So reflecting on that, that was enough to give him the job on a permanent basis. Since he's got the job permanently, let's take into account his record has been disastrous. I still don't know if he's a long-term solution for Man United. He's inexperienced as a manager, but the longer he remains in the Man United job, he's going to be gaining more experience, isn't he? But we've got a few ambitions this season. One of those ambitions is the Europa League. The Europa League is a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. The FA Cup, that's another chance of getting some silverware on the board because we haven't won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. But Solskjaer has been here now for almost 16 months, so he has been at the football club over the year. And it is a transition period, don't forget. And Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year he's hopeful that Man United can get through this transition period. But he is still in the process of rebuilding. There's only 5 players that he's brought in so far. Solskjaer's inheriting players, that other managers brought in. The vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's. Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the club, and the vast majority of them are still here. Mourinho spent a lot of money at the club. Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. But the main explanation why it didn't work out for him is because obviously he didn't get the players that he wanted to recommend in. He had bad disputes with the top players. Pogba, Martial, Luke Shaw didn't get along with him even. Fred never got any opportunities under Mourinho. But Mourinho did win 2 trophies in his first season at the club. And, Louis van Gaal. There's only a couple of players here now from the Van Gaal area that Solskjaer's inheriting. I think there's only Martial and Shaw here from the Van Gaal area. Maybe there's someone else I haven't mentioned. There's Matt still from the David Moyes area, and I think there's only 2 here from the Ferguson era, and that's David De Gea and Phil Jones. But Solskjaer needs more time, at least a couple more windows to rebuild a good squad. Jurgen Klopp didn't settle in straight away at Liverpool. It took him time to emulate to a level that he's at now. When we recommended Ferguson in, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. But look what he went and accomplished after not winning out in his first 4 years. So sometimes it does take managers time. But we are one of the biggest clubs in the world with a fantastic history, a fantastic fan base. More successful club in England, 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. The club have got 3 Champions Leagues. The last time we won the Champions League was back in 2008, which is 12 years ago now. One of the club's greatest achievements was 1999 when we won the treble. That was thanks to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player. So, yeah. So he does deserve more time. I know I've been critical of him this season. I've been very, very critical of him, just like a lot of Manchester United fans. I still don't think he's a long-term solution for the club. I'd give him another season. If it doesn't work out next season, that's when I would sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that's just my perception on it. Everyone will have a different opinion. But I don't think we'll win the league next season, but we get the right calibre players in when the transfer window reopens. I think we can challenge, and I think we can definitely enjoy a better season next season than what we've enjoyed this season. That's without a shadow of a doubt. So it's looking very, very imminent that Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window. I probably do believe he's actually going to be our first signing, when the transfer window reopens. Paul Merson has actually doubted Jadon Sancho's move to Manchester United. He doesn't think Manchester United will pay 100 or 120 million pounds for the player. And take into consideration, it is a lot of money, especially for just a 20-year-old. But we're going to have to pay it if we want to get him on the board because Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. Now, basically, Jadon Sancho has revealed his main explanation why he wants to come to Manchester United because of his friendship with Marcus Rashford. I think he was playing FIFA 20 with him yesterday, but Rashford did reveal that he wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United next season. Obviously, the Daily Express said early on this week that his preference is to move to Madrid or Barcelona to have a greater chance of winning, the Ballon d'Or. But I think, Man United can get him on the board. I know Liverpool and Chelsea have also been in for Jadon Sancho. Now, we've been working on his contract for a couple of months, haven't we? You know, that was stemming from Fabrizio Romano the other week. We've been working on his contract for quite some time. I also believe that, you know, we're willing to offer Jadon Sancho around £400,000 a week. So that will make him the best player at the club, as well as the most expensive signing. I think we've got a few options, you know, what number, you know, he can fulfill at the club. I think it's more than likely that Man United will offer Jadon Sancho the number 7 because, like I said, you know, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. I've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Our recent number 7s, though, haven't been so good. There was reports saying, you know, if Manchester United fail to get qualification for the Champions League, then Jadon Sancho will reject to move to Old Trafford. But I think we're only the club that are willing to, you know, meet, you know, what Borussia Dortmund are demanding. But we pay 120 million or even 100 is going to be our most expensive signing. And, you know, he's well proven in the Premier League. He's predominantly a right winner, and don't forget, you know, Man United want to get a right winner in. He's done well in the years he's been with Dortmund. Dortmund will make a huge profit on the player. You know, Dortmund paid £7 or £8 million in from Man City. The main explanation why I left Man City, because obviously he didn't get any first team opportunities and stuff like that. He didn't get any first team opportunities and stuff like that, so that's why he did leave Manchester City. But Dortmund have come to accept the fact that he wants to leave, so they're in the market now looking for an adequate replacement for him. They're looking for an adequate replacement for Jadon Sancho. I think Ferran Torres from Valencia is on their agenda. Also, too, Jude Bellingham is on their agenda. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, you know, will be a great addition to the squad, and he'll go well alongside Rashford and Anthony Martial and that in our attacking line. Because I've got to be honest with you now, I think Rashford was one of our best players earlier on this season before he got injured, because as you all know, Marcus Rashford has been out with a back injury. He's been out with a back injury, Marcus Rashford, and he's been a big miss, but Solsjaker made the wrong decision by playing Marcus Rashford in that game against Wolves in the Cup, because his injury wouldn't have occurred if he hadn't played him in that. Up until this point, Rashford spent the entirety of his career with the club. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. But yeah, Sancho will go well alongside him. With Martial, I've criticised him before, but I think before the season that got suspended, I thought, you know, Martial was in a good vein of form. I think he's on 15, 16 or 17 goals this season for the club. What I think, you know, we need to do is just find Anthony Martial a permanent position, because he does predominantly play out wide on the left, and he has played on the left in his 4 previous seasons, but this season, you know, he has been operating in that number 9 as Anthony Martial. But I think Martial is the long-term future for Manchester United in that. I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Odion Ighalo earlier on. Well, I give you the news about him yesterday as well. He's revealed Odion Ighalo that he's not yet received any offer from Man United, you know, to extend his stay at the club. I think we are probably going to extend his loan until the 30th of June due to the coronavirus pandemic. His current loan with the football club ends on the 31st of May. It isn't fully assured yet that Man United will decide to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. If we do decide to get him on a permanent transfer, it will cost the club around £15 million. That is a cheap solution, to be fair. If Ighalo had been about 4 or 5 years younger, maybe it'd have cost a lot more than £15 million. But I think we paid around 3 or 4 million to get him on loan, and we're now paying a third of his wages. Don't forget the other week, Shanghai Shenhua, his parent club from China, that is, you know, they came out and offered him a substantial amount. They offered him 400 grand a week plus a 2-year contract extension to try and convince him to turn down a permanent move to Man United. But Ighalo's done well. You know, he's a good cover-up for Rashford. He's the vocal point, and he's totally comparison to our other attacking players, is Ighalo. So I've got to give him a lot of credit. But like I said to you, know, Solskjaer's got around 4 strikers on his agenda who he's looking to get in. Kane, I don't think we'll get Kane because, one, Tottenham are going to basically, you know, price him out of the market. because they want at least 150 million. Some reports said they want 200 million. I don't think Man United will pay that. I think he'll leave Tottenham, but I don't think he'll come to United. Werner, I don't know about Werner. He'll probably end up staying with Leipzig. If he doesn't, he could make a move to Liverpool. That's provided if Liverpool can sell one of their attacking trio. But Werner's a much cheaper solution than Kane. Erling Haaland is a cheaper solution than Kane. He'd cost around in the £60 million range. Even Moussa Dembele, he'd be a cheaper solution than Harry Kane. And Carlo, a cheaper solution than Kane. So there's actually quite a few strikers on our agenda who we could look to recommend in. But definitely Manchester United need a centre forward. But yeah, a lot of players have left. A lot of players have left since Solskjaer's arrival. We've seen around 9 players leave since his arrival. But I've already gone through with you, haven't I? The players that I think will leave Man United in the summer, and that's Lingard, Pereira, Jones, Smalling on a permanent transfer. Sanchez, I think, is set to stay now, so he's out of the equation like he updated you on. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.